Judging a dog by its breed is like judging a book by its cover. You may only see the physical makeup of said item, but you cannot see the contents inside. A new study by Duffy et al. Called The Breed Differences in Canine Aggression tried to classify aggression by breed, but found the information was inconclusive. Instead, the study showed that a dog's aggression was influenced, but not limited to, these three reasons: a lack of proper and early socialization prior to 14 weeks of age, lack of training, and unskilled use of aversive training methods. This subject is close to my heart because I own a quote unquote aggressive breed, my Rottweiler named Xena. Um, Whenever anybody meets Xena, at first they are hesitant and a little bit terrified to meet her because she is a 120-pound hulking dog. And her breed has gotten such a bad rap for so long that anytime they see her, they try not to approach. But within seconds of interacting with Xena, people are astounded at how well behaved and sweet and non-aggressive she actually is. Um, and I always respond to their astonishment by saying socialization and training are the keys to any well-behaved dog. Um, According to Stephen Zaltowski, science advisor to the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, which is the ASPCA, aggression is incredibly complex. It is going to be both situation dependent and dependent on the history of both the people and the dog. You can't just pick the breed of the dog and say somehow that it will be predictive of whether the dog will be aggressive. Um, this chart, which is really hard to see on the computer, I highlighted on paper. It says that the Rottweilers for stranger-directed aggression are pretty high, as you can see right here. However, what's surprising is that Dachshund is the highest for stranger-directed aggression. And then on the next chart, it says owner-directed aggression, and you can see that the Rottweiler is really low. And the higher ones are the Basset Hound and English Springer. Spaniel. Also, the bottom one right here, it says dog directed aggression. The Dachshund is again on top, and here's the Rottweilers. And then what's more more interesting is that the West Highland Terrier is a much higher at being aggressive towards dogs. You usually don't think of small dogs as being aggressive. But what was more interesting about the study is that it actually is really inconclusive on the breed itself being aggressive rather than a case by case study on the dogs. It's a specific dog itself. Here, this chart here is saying the number of the dogs that were included in this study. For 151 Basset Hounds, only one was stranger aggressive, and 4 were owner aggressive. And then 3 dogs were dog aggressive. And again, for Rottweiler, out of the 92 that were in the survey, 5 were stranger aggressive, and 1 was owner aggressive, and then again 1 was dog aggressive. So you can't really judge a dog by its breed, but by the dog itself. A couple ways to avoid aggression are to leave puppies with their litter until they're at least 8 weeks old, so they learn how to be social with other dogs. Also, you have to take them to puppy kindergarten classes before 14 weeks old, so they become comfortable with other people and dogs. Since I got Xena. I have been introducing her to new environments, dogs, and people constantly. She has learned not to fear new things, instead accept them. And if every owner knew how to actually do that, not many dogs would have such a bad rap for aggression. Um, Training Xena has been a very important part of my life. And, dogs who attend puppy training classes were about 1.5 times less likely to be aggressive to strangers, which is what the study actually put out at the end of their conclusive result. Um, Puppy training is not only for teaching the puppy how to behave, but also teaching her owner how to anticipate triggers and effectively resolve any situation. Resolving any situation, especially aggressive behavior, should not include negative reinforcement. According to the study, dogs trained using punishment and negative reinforcement were twice as likely to be aggressive to strangers and 3 times as likely to be aggressive to family members. Um, According to an article called uh, uh, Understanding Aggression by Lisa Molinax. When a dog is pushed to the point that it reacts aggressively, the sympathetic nervous system is activated. Most people know this as the fight or flight response. When the sympathetic nervous system is engaged and the parasympathetic nervous system, which regulates all other functions, disengages, shutting down digestion and other non essential functions, inhibiting a dog's ability to learn. When the dog is pushed to the point of extreme stress, he or she is in survival mode and no longer learning, which basically means um, that anything you do past that point, the dog will not commit to memory and will do that again. And I realized this firsthand. I tried screaming and shouting for my dog when I first noticed that she was showing some aggression around her toys. But what happened was it continued happening and with more force. So I tried it again with being calm and approaching her uh, from the side with soothing voices and petting and treats, and eventually we got to the point where she's no longer aggressive over her toys. In conclusion, dog aggression has nothing to do with their breeding, but more with training that she receives. As long as she's properly socialized and trained, she will not treat every new situation as a threat and will not show aggression.